Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Rock Shop with Ralph, your source for all things entertainment. Tonight, we have the former lead singer of metal band Metal Church. He toured with Trans Siberian Orchestra, and he's here to talk about his latest project, Between Worlds, on the Frontiers SRL record label, who I did a lot of interviews with. Let's give it up to Mr. Ronny Munroe.
How's it going, everyone?
How you doing, Ronny?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
All right. So we'll talk about Between Worlds towards the end of the interview. But here's a couple of things I want to talk to you about. First off, how you doing? I always start with how you doing.
How you doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing very well these days, back in Rhode Island. And, like I said, got the new record out. Trying to, basically just stay alive in these crazy times as we all are.
I know.
And yeah, man, but things are going pretty well.
Good for you. I got family in Rhode Island, in Woonsocket.
Woonsocket. Okay. I go there occasionally.
Yeah,
I'm in Warwick. Yeah.
In Warwick? Yeah, believe it or not, there's Italians in Rhode Island, and they're in Woonsocket.
Yes, they are. And my new girlfriend now, Lynn, she's a full-blooded Italian.
All right. So she's the seventh. I was going to say there's only 6 people that are Italian. They live in Rhode Island. They're in Woonsocket. I think your girlfriend's the seventh.
Yeah. She must be.
All right. So, yeah. So let's talk about your start, Ronny. You studied under a vocal teacher named David Kyle, who taught Anna Nancy Wilson, Chris Cornell, Lane Staley. I guess the whole Seattle scene, I would have to assume, right?
Well, a lot of us, yes.
Yeah. So how did that come about?
I had just heard about him through the grapevine. And of course, I was a fan of, just about anybody that can really sing.
Yeah.
And, of course, Hart, Jeff, from Queensryche, and even Terry Young from a band called Rail.
Wow.
There's some trivia for you.
Yeah.
And also those guys, because they never really made it, they won the Seattle KISW's Seattle's Best Rock local station Basement Tape Awards. And that's how they got to open for Van Halen. But then I think they got kicked off the tour because Terry Young wore the furry boots.
Right.
Like Roth did.
Oh, yeah.
Just a little old trivia story.
Yeah, he said there can't be 2 of us doing that, only one of us.
Well, he stole it from Jim Dandy.
Yeah, Jim Dandy's
so anyway. But anyway, go on.
Yeah. You mentioned Jeff Tate. He just did a show out here. He's doing the Empire 30th anniversary and Rage for Order, I believe. He's doing every song front to back. He did 7 dates in a row. Okay. Wow. And singing those albums. It goes to show you the power of that guy's voice and what he's capable of doing.
Wow, no, yeah, I didn't know that. That's good on him, man.
Yeah, I'm a drummer. I also sing in a band, and I can't sing 25 songs every Friday night. I don't know how this guy's doing it 7 days in a row, singing all those friggin' songs and the power of his voice.
Well, you know what, Ralph? Sometimes for certain people, I know for myself, the switch is always on, and after you've been doing this for so long, Jeff's been doing it for even longer than I have.
Mm-hmm.
And, the guy's incredible. And, some say with age, like a fine bottle of wine, you get better with age.
I don't know about that. I can't hit those high notes.
Well, there are some guys that can.
Yeah, it's tough.
He happens to be one of them that can, and I still, knock on wood, I can hit those notes as well. So, but we'll see once we get back on the road, right?
Yeah. Good for you. That's why I got a female co-lead. She sings the high stuff.
There we go.
But so let's talk about Metal Church, who, by the way, I have to say, had to have, but this is before you came in the band, no knock on you, but had one of the best debut albums of all time, period. 1984. I mean, totally. Jesus Christ. The song Metal Church. Oh, man. I played the shit out of that cassette.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I had my Pioneer Super Tuner 6 or whatever the hell it was in my beat up station wagon, and I had that tape as well, and I wore it out.
Right.
And the cool thing for me is, I actually did say to myself a few times as a teenager, God, one day, man, wouldn't that be just incredible if I could sing for a band like that?
Right.
Hey, man, 20 years later or more, I became a singer. So pretty cool, man.
One thing I want to say about Metal Church was they were always big underground. They always had this underground following, right?
Following, yeah.
And then here's the thing. Around the hair metal, we'll call the hair metal era, the cock rock era, whatever you want to call it. I went to see Cinderella, Winger, and the Bullet Boys was the bill. And Kip Winger, and this is no knock on Kip Winger, because I thought they got a bad rap with Beavis and Butthead, the whole thing. Kip Winger had a Metal Church shirt on. And I was like, what the fuck? Kip Winger with a Metal Church shirt on? And it goes to show you how broad their fan base was. You had this guy who was like a sex symbol, who was who was singing about 7 girls that are 17 and headed for a heartbreak and all this shit crap. Not crap songs, I'm just saying crap. And he had a Metal Church shirt on. So you wind up joining the band in 2004 with the Weight of the World CD. How did you meet Kurt Vanderhoof? I love that name. It's a nice Italian name. It's a nice Italian name. No,
for a Viking.
Yeah, for a Viking. How'd you get the gig?
Well, I met Kurt through a friend. I went to see his solo band, Vanderhoof, which was more of a prog rock thing. He's really into the Hammond B organs and stuff like that. And so I met him after the show, and we talked for a moment, exchanged numbers. And so my original audition and reason for talking to him was to replace the singer that he had at the time in Vanderhoof. So I went up to his place, went out in the studio, and he played me some stuff. And of course I liked that too. But then I finally spit it out and was like, well, what about Metal Church? And he'd gotten back with Dave Wayne in 99, and they did the Masterpiece record, which they ended up nicknaming it Disaster Piece. They went out on the road, and Dave just wasn't well. So the shows didn't go all that great. And then the band ended up breaking up. And so he didn't really want to, because of all that stuff in the past, he didn't really want to go back there. But I kept on him. So after a few times and sending him stuff, letting him hear demos I'd done, he called me finally a couple of weeks later and said, so you want to do Metal Church, huh? And I said, fuck yeah. So That's how it happened.
Yeah, that album, one track that stands out, which I love, is Time Will Tell. I love that song.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, I think you wrote that, didn't you?
The lyrics.
Yeah, you wrote the lyrics.
Yeah,
I love that. You wind up doing 4 albums with them. The second one you did was in 2006, Light in the Dark. I love the title track to that one. I thought that album was light years ahead of the first one that you did with them. That's my opinion.
Oh. Well, we always want to progress with each record, so that's good to hear.
Yeah. That was 2006. Then you did Beyond All Reason, was the third one. And the last one you did with them was This Present Wasteland, which I think out of all the 4 albums you've done, I'm sorry, it's 5 albums, isn't it?
No, it's 4. Actually,
it is 4. I stand corrected.
Yeah, Beyond All Reason is a song.
Is the song? I'm sorry, it's the song.
Yeah, that's all right.
On the Light in the Dark album. The next one was The Present Wasteland. And yes. I was going to tell you, the best song I have ever heard out of your era of Metal Church is Monster. I love that song.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we had Angus Clark from TSO do the guest guitar solo on that.
Yes. That's one of my favorites. What can you tell me about your time in Metal Church? What stands out, like as far as touring, bands you toured with? You can tell us some crazy sex stories if you want. Well, your girlfriend's not listening.
No, there's a few of those, but I'll keep those under wraps. But,
I know everybody does.
You know what happens on the road, but I had a lot of cool times. That was my stepping stone, because I had done it all, Ralph. I'm top 40 playing 3 sets a night in smoky bars, and I probably shouldn't say that.
You ever seen Copacabana?
I never stooped that low. But
hey, listen, bro, I'm in a cover band. Listen, you sing that song, you get the 50 to 60-year-old women go friggin' crazy for that. If you like 50 or 60-year-old women, they go crazy for that.
You're in like Flynn, Bubba.
You're in like her name was Lola. She was a show, Anyway,
Oh,
go ahead.
anyway,
The floor is yours.
so I did that. And I did tribute bands as well. So yeah, I did it all. And then when I got Metal Church, that was my stepping stone. And I'll never forget, man, on the plane, my first trip to Europe. Well, actually, I was with a band called Rottweiler and did Wacken in 2002.
Oh, wow. That's a festival.
Oh yeah, and then I played Wacken 3 times with Metal Church. So that was
I always thought it was called whacking.
well, you know what? Because they pronounce their V's and W's.
I know. And then when you hear people go, I was playing at Wacken, I'm like, Wacken, what the fuck is that? I'm looking it up. I'm like, what the fuck is Wacken? Then I'm like, oh, Wacken, Wacken. It's Wacken.
Yeah, and it's fun to say.
Yeah, exactly. we've all been whacking since we're 14 years old.
Well, yeah, exactly. Some started younger, but anyway, yeah, man. That's how I got into the band, and that was my again, memories. Just one of the coolest times was actually the biggest rock star that I've ever met was Jimmy Page.
Wow, that's a big one.
I think we were at Waldrock Festival, and Sabbath was headlining. And I'm standing on side stage by the monitor board watching Audio Slave. And Cornell at the time, the rest of the band left the stage. He was doing Black Hole Sun acoustic to 50,000 plus people singing it back. I see my hair standing up right now.
Yeah, what a singer, man.
I mean, it was that was just a great moment in time, And so I'm looking around, seeing who I can see, and I see this jet black hair and like a white hat. And I'm very polite. I'm not one of those guys. I'm not per se. I am a fanboy, but I don't show it.
Yeah.
I don't go up and oh my God. No. So I took my time and I'm like, is that fucking Jimmy Page? And I'm like, no, he wouldn't be here. So I finally took that one look enough to go, that's fucking
wait, that is Jimmy Page.
So I did turn around after the song was over, and I was, I just said, hey, Mr. Page, my name is Ronny Munroe. I'm from Metal Church. I go, I just wanted to say thank you for the years of awesome music, and it's nice to meet you, sir. He put his hand out. We shook it. He pulled me in. He gave me a hug, and he goes, thanks, mate. She goes, enjoy the rest of the show. Sorry for the crappy British accent, but I did my best. But yeah, so just really cool. And then 20 minutes later, man, I look down and he's over there talking with Tony Iommi. Talk about 2 legends. Right. So see, yeah, I'm a huge fan of music.
Was this like around 2000? What year was this? Like 2013?
I think 2006.
Oh, so that was when he was with Dio.
A Light in the Dark. We toured over there on A Light in the Dark. We went
that
over
was 2006. So that was when Dio was back and they were going with Heaven and Hell.
No, this was with Ozzy.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, because like 2006, 2007 was when they went back with Dio. Well, great. You got to see
maybe it was 2005. It was somewhere in that area. But anyway.
Yeah, I seen them. I just seen I'm a huge Dio fan. Everybody on the show knows it. But I seen that last tour they were at for the 13 album Sabbath. And I'm telling you, it was the best Ozzy has ever sounded, the best the band has ever sounded, and they went out, on top. I mean, Bill Ward wasn't there, but they do what they got to do, Yeah. I'd love to see Jimmy Page do something. And I hear he's supposedly doing stuff with David Coverdale, like Coverdale Page again. Yeah, they're not going to tour. Maybe they'll do, these guys, don't forget, the guys we grew up on, Ronnie, they're going into this. You ain't going to find another band like Judas Priest anymore. Dio, Sabbath, they're gone. Once they're gone, they're gone. There's nobody even close to what they are. You know what I mean?
Well, Ralph, it made me realize just yesterday, I think it was when somebody had mentioned, God rest his soul, but Frankie Benali.
Oh, yeah. They just
yesterday would have been 70.
70.
I mean, yeah, we're not getting any younger.
No, so, I know. Yeah, and what a nice guy he was.
Yeah, I met Frankie a couple times actually, but it was, maybe just in passing, but he seemed like a sweetheart.
And he's a Queens native. He's from Queens, where I am.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah. But like I was saying, all these bands, who's even close? Metallica, and
they're getting up there, but
they're getting up there too. They're in their 50s, but I'm just saying bands like Priest and Sabbath and Whitesnake, David Coverdale, he's retiring, Dio's gone. Kiss I don't know if you're a Kiss fan, but I am a big Kiss fan.
I'm a fan.
Yeah, they're going to be gone. You know, there's no guitar heroes. There's no guitar solos anymore. I mean, you know what I mean, Ronnie?
Well, so I'll turn you on to somebody if you haven't heard him, but Gus G.
Oh, Gus, he played with Ozzy.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he's young. Well, I think he's mid-30s now, but
right.
But he's still that guy's awesome.
Oh yeah, he's a great guitarist. Great guitar.
Yeah,
he played
right,
on Ozzy.
There's nobody that really just sticks out like a Ziggy Stardust.
No way.
Or just something's character like that. We need that.
Nope.
Maybe somebody closest thing I think is the Ghost guy.
Oh, from Ghost.
But you know, that is what it is.
Right. So
it's been done.
Yeah. So you did those albums with Metal Church and you decide to move on and you wind up touring with Trans Siberian Orchestra.
Yeah.
Which you gotta be a powerful vocalist to front that band and to tour with that band. I mean,
well, thank you. And yeah, you do. They've got the best. They picked the best of the best, and I was very fortunate to get in there. I mean, that was a dream. I'd seen the show because I know people that are in the industry or in that camp.
Chris Caffery.
Oh, Chris, great guy. Yeah.
Oh, I've been trying to get. If you see him, tell him Ralph says, "What the hell's going on?" I was supposed to get him on. We were supposed to do something, and I guess he's now because this is busy season.
Yeah, they're on the road right now.
Right. But
yeah, I'll say
he's a friend of a friend, and we've exchanged messages, but no big deal. Okay. I can wait patiently for Chris. How you doing, Chris? If you're watching.
But yeah, man. So that's like the best gig that I've ever had. I mean, they're top notch.
Oh yeah.
From point A to Z. I mean, everything's taken care of, and to get up there twice a day, and sing to a sold out Coliseum that's why we do this, man, is to, you feel like you've arrived when you really get out there.
And not for nothing. I mean, it is called the music business. Let's call a spade a spade. To have that band as a business model, to tour for those couple of months and to make the amount of money they make and the amount of fans that they bring and the music and the joy that they bring, and to take, I'm not saying they take off the whole rest of the year, but they have to have a pretty good chunk where they're not doing anything. And then they wind up getting ready to go back out on tour again. But what a business model that is.
All those guys and gals are just, normal people.
Yeah.
They all have, when the tour's done, they all go back to doing whatever it is they do, music, or some do other things.
Yeah.
But for that, a couple months, it's pretty intense, and it was a great experience.
Now I have to admit, I mean, I've seen them on YouTube and television. I've never seen a TSO show. He doesn't do like Gutter Ballet and
no,
they don't do anything from Sabotage.
But the band, it started out deriving from the band Sabotage.
Right.
And they did that record, Dead Winter Dead, I think it was. It had Christmas Nights in Sarajevo, and that's what spawned the whole thing. From my knowledge, I could be mistaken, but that's what I've been told, at least. And then, he doesn't perform now, but they do a rendition. Like we did this. I did the spring tour. Before we went out on the winter tour, Jeff Scott Soto, because they did the spring tour for about 5 years called Beethoven's Last Night. And Soto was going to go off and do something else. And they asked me if I would replace him. So, I got in there and I was able to do that, which was also really cool. But I don't know, the whole point of being is best gig I've ever had. And it is a great organization. And if you're to follow a template, that's one to do.
That's the one to do it. You could tell everything is top notch, from production to sound to lighting. I mean, really, it really is. It really is. So and then I want to mention your solo albums, because you do have 4 solo albums, correct?
So no, 3.
Well, I got Internal Quest, The Fire Within.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, that's an EP.
All right, well, that's 4.
But but that's a release. Thank you for that. Wow,
all right,
did your homework.
All right, well, I try. I want to mention your solo albums: The Eternal Quest, The Fire Within, Lords of the Edge, and Electric Wake.
Correct.
Okay,
you got it.
You got your 4 solo albums out there, and then this is what we're here to talk about: your latest project, which I love, because I'm going to tell you why I love this. not only your voice, and I'm not kissing your ass. You hooked up with Alessandro Del Vecchio.
That's right.
Who's my paisan, who I interviewed on this show, who is mega talented, mega producer. He's produced Resurrection Kings with Chaz West, who I interviewed as well, Craig Goldie, and Vinny Appice. He's done the Revolution Saints, which is Doug Aldrich, Dean Castronovo, and Jack Blades. He's done Hardline. He's a member of Hardline. Johnny Gioeli, another Italian from Queens who I interviewed. On that, anything that he touches, he brings perfection. And I can tell when he's producing an album for someone, because he always has his little touches that he puts on there, and I can just tell that Alessandro has his stamp on it. How'd you hook up with Alessandro? Besides, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Besides being on Frontiers SRL, I've done a lot of interviews for that label. Serafino Perugino, another Italian.
All right. Well,
yeah,
I'll tell you what. Basically, he reached out to me through Facebook, I think it was, and he said that at the beginning of every year they get together as a label and producers, and they talk about who they would like to work with, because that's what they do. They're great at that.
Yes.
And Alessandro said that I wanted to work with you. And of course I was flattered and honored, and being that I was out of the industry for a few years, taking care of somebody, and, went through a few rough years there with, disease and all that, which I already said too much there, but it was a great time for him to reach out too, because I had a lot to say and a lot to get off my chest.
Yes.
And I said, sure. How do you want to do this? And he goes, well, why don't I send you like 3 songs musically and you do your thing? And so I did, sent him back. And what he said was, I'll present them to Frontiers, see what they say. So I sent him the stuff over, and it was cool because he wrote me right back, and, was pleasantly surprised, he said, at what I had given to him. And he was like, I don't even want to change anything. He goes, I'm going to just give me a few days to mix this, do all my stuff, work his magic. And then he presented it to Frontiers, got back with me in about a week and said, hey, they want us to do a record. You in? Said, yeah, let's work out the details. And that's how it happened.
Wow. What a talent. And now let me tell the fans, this is not Metal Church. This is a very, very big difference. Metal Church, you're talking power thrash, balls to the wall thrash. Between Worlds, I would describe it as power metal. This is melodic metal where you can hear Ronnie, you can understand every word that he's saying. When he's singing his heart out. Chris Caffrey plays guitar on it on a couple of on some tracks. Joe Hoekstra is on this, who I interviewed as well. Great guitarist from Whitesnake and so many other bands. From Cher, for Christ's sake. Yeah, I talked to him about that. Johnny Lee Middleton from TSO is on it. And who's playing drums on this album?
That would be Michelle Santa.
A girl?
No, Michael, but Michelle.
Michael, but pronounce it
either. Yeah.
Well, we got all these weird pronunciations on my show tonight. Bakken, Michelle.
He's a good friend of Alessandro's and plays on a lot of stuff that Alessandro does. And great, to a T, that guy.
Oh yeah, he's phenomenal.
I'm an ex-drummer myself, so I always look mainly for meter. You do all the licks in the world. It doesn't matter. If you don't have a good meter, and that guy's spot on, man. So yeah, everybody on the record. And so while I'm saying this, I'll go ahead and say a couple more people. Jack Frost.
Right. I was going to mention him as well.
Yes. Jack played the majority of the guitar and did a great job, man. And Jack's a good guy. So I hope to work a little bit more with him in the future. Pete Alpenborg. Played some guitar and he also—
That's Alessandro's buddy.
Exactly. And he wrote some of the music as well. So Alex Jensen on bass, who Alex plays with a lot of people over there, and a great bass player, great guy. They're all good human beings too, which is something that I wanted. From now on, the rest of my career,
exactly.
I'm 55, I'll be 56 in a couple of days, and So it's not like I'm 25 anymore. And I just, I just want to play with good people.
And you want to put
No
the drama
drama,
behind
just
you.
have the music talk for you,
Right. Great. That's what, well, I mean, I have the Between Worlds song up on my page. I posted it, that's out there. What do you have planned? I mean, listen, I say this all the time, especially with Frontiers. I know it's an Italian label. God bless Serafino Perugino. He's keeping all the melodic metal alive, all the bands that I love from my era, that he just keeps them out there. The hardest part is touring in the States. That is the hardest thing because, people say, oh, come to Boise, Idaho, come to Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah, you want me to come there? Buy the fucking album, and tell your friends to buy the album because there's no more money in listen, we understand it's the music business. There's no more money in making an album. You actually lose money. It's all done through touring and merchandise. So if you want them to appear there, you gotta support, buy the album, and maybe they'll play Fargo, North Dakota, or Boise, Idaho, or New York, where I am. It's tough, but
it is
not impossible. Tough, but not impossible.
You got to get out there and grind. And if you're still, that's what you want to do for a living. I mean, God bless you. More power to you. Right. Grind it out. And I want to be back out there too. But again, it's got to be the right time and
exactly
under the right circumstances because you got to watch your pennies, man.
I know.
So, you basically go back to what we used to call so anyway, quick thing on the road when you're struggling. You go into the AMP or the 7-Eleven because you got the little boxes of cereal in the RV or the van, right?
Right.
You go in and you just type a few creamers.
Oh, wow.
There's your milk.
That's
we called it when we didn't have any bread and we just had like cold cuts and cheese. We called it a hand sandwich.
A hand sandwich.
So one guy would go around and hand out the shit.
Oh God. Well, did you ever have a jam sandwich? A jam sandwich, JAM. You take 2 pieces of bread and you jam
it together. Yes.
I know, Ronnie. I mean, what are you going to do? Look at Alessandro. Perfect example. The band Hardline. They've been on Frontiers since its inception. Pretty much, they release album after album after album, and they did very, very limited shows in the United States. I had Johnny on, and Johnny said the same thing. He's like, Ralph, look. We can tour out in Italy. We can tour in Europe, because they come to the shows. He goes, we may book one show here, and it's not monetarily feasible to pay for the van and the crew and this and that. So all I'm telling everybody is, if you want to see Between Worlds, if you want to see Alessandro Hardline, you want to see Ronnie's band, you got to support the band. And we got to get them to be able to come to our towns and play. It's not too much to ask.
Amen.
You know what I mean? So that being said, what do we have lined up? Do we have anything else lined up? Do you have any other projects? Do you have any live gigs we were just talking about, Ronnie, before we end this?
Well, no, we don't have any live gigs as of yet, but I am working on. I go this Thursday. Actually, I put a band together. Which, I can't mention the people yet, but they're all known players.
Oh, come on. You're on my show. You can't mention.
Well, I mean, they're guys that have been, let's see, with, say, Eric Martin.
Oh.
Great.
Is it Joey Casada?
No.
All right. He's coming on the show.
No, but
PJ Farley? He's coming on the show.
No.
Right. Well, they play with Eric Martin.
You're fishing.
They all play with Eric Martin's coming on the show, too. And he's a Queen, and he's a Queens native.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so no, we're gonna rehearse on Thursday. First time. We've had a couple things happen. Drummer got COVID. Somebody else got sick. That's the screwed up thing now with all this.
Oh, I know.
You got when everybody's healthy, you got to jump on it, I guess.
Right.
So
right.
Thursday we're gonna do that, and which will be doing my catalog and some Metal Church stuff, just stuff from everything I've done, including Between Worlds. So there's that. And, also something big, which I can go ahead and announce it. The official press release will be Friday, but you're the first one to get this. Oh. Finally, after about 5 years, Monroe's Thunder is coming out.
Awesome.
Yeah, that was something spearheaded by my late wife. That many years ago, she put the band around me. She, she did a lot of the stuff, the videos and things like that. And that was kind of her baby. And because of everything, how it went down, we had to stop doing it for obvious reasons.
Right.
But we finally got a label, and it's being mastered as we speak. So that's going to come out. And then we'll see what happens. This label's wanting to have more from me as well, and they're a great label. I'll mention that at another time who they are, but they're new, upcoming. And that's going to be coming out. Like I said, watch for the press release on all my sites, my Facebook, RonnyMunroe.com, Instagram, Twitter, and all that mumbo jumbo.
And then send it to me, and I'll post it on my page for you too.
Definitely, Ralph. Thank you, man.
Yeah. And last thing I got to ask you, did I read this right? Are you a DJ as well?
Well, I am. Yeah, I have, but I'm.
You're laughing. Do I do my research?
Yeah, you sure do. Yeah, no, I bought a system, and it's booming. It's I got everything you need, and it's a side business that I wanted to start. Actually, my sister, God rest her soul, she left me just a little bit of money, and she wanted me to do something.
All right,
start a business of some sort, and that being, this is what I do. I figured, what the hell, I'll go ahead and do that. But of course, I want to do it for a while and then have somebody else go do it. And
all right, hire somebody to do it. I can't picture you with the earphones going, it takes two to make a thing go right. I can't picture Ronny Munroe there.
I don't want to picture myself doing that. Just shoot me.
You know what I mean? I can picture you with the earphone and then with the record, Ronnie spinning fucking records like this.
Yeah. Well, there will be no
tricky.
Yeah, but there'll be no spinning.
All right. Okay.
You get a straight shoot with me.
Yes. All right. Great.
Yeah. No, I'm starting that out, and I already got a couple gigs lined up for September next year.
Okay.
So yeah. And a cool thing that I'm doing too, because I want to do some of these, is benefits occasionally when they're right. So I'm doing an Alzheimer's benefit here in about a month and a half.
Okay, great.
The cool thing about that is I really don't have to worry about what to play because they're not going to remember.
Oh shit! You said it.
That's
you
horrible.
said it. You said it. You son of a bitch.
I did. Right here.
Even I didn't say that, Ronnie. Even I didn't say that. The obnoxious kid from Queens didn't even say that. But you're going to be spinning records at a fucking wedding. And you're going to be like this. You're going to be like, the bride cuts the cake. The bride cuts the cake. And some little fucking metalhead over there, some 50-year-old guys are going, is that fucking Ronny Munroe from Metal Church? That guy was like Ronny Munroe from Metal Church.
How the mighty have fallen.
Yeah, I got you. But anyway, I want to thank Mr. Ronny Munroe coming on the show. You're part of the Rock Shop family now, Ronnie. Support his new album, Between Worlds. You can find it at www.frontiers.it or www.ronnymunroe.com. That's the two websites you can find him at. And I'm sure there's some other outlets you can search the web for, but we have to support him. We have to get him out there if we want to see him. I want to thank Ronnie for coming on, and I will talk to you soon, Ronnie.
All right, my friend Ralph, thanks for having me on finally. And you guys all take care. Stay safe.
Yes. Bye now.
Peace.
We're good.